God bless. This is Overseer Edward. This is just another part of my pruning season, as my pastor tells me about pruning. But what I wanted to say is that to piggyback on what was said on the last video about men, you know, the only thing that I ever remember about a man's success have been in the African American part of it, has been either a man has succeeded when he went into the sport atmosphere of it, or that man succeeded because he became a real great drug dealer, or that man succeeded that he did something as a comedian, or that man, all this stuff that they say that a man does. And I thought about that thing for a minute. I was like, wait a minute. So is this the only concept as an African American man that I can really look at as someone being successful? Now, there have to be something more. It have to be something more, because those are not my desires. I am not the sport person. I'm not the greatest musician. I'm not none of those things. The only thing that I'm good at is telling people about teaching parts of things. Now, I love to teach. I love to talk about things that I'm familiar with. And I don't have a problem with doing that if it's going to benefit someone, and even myself. But I don't really hear much about these men that really have proven themselves, that people are going to say, okay, these are successful men, because nobody talks about them. They only talks to people based upon those things, that they have a big entertainer or stuff like that. And I said to myself, like, there have to be more kind of men out here than just those that's in entertainment or into sports of any kind, or a high top kingpin. It's got to be more than that. So, I went and I tried to remember talking to people that have been successful. And what I'm finding out is that some of these men that become successful as African American men, some of them become very selfish when they become successful. They kind of look at you, and now you're no longer a part of that body of belief. You're really more like, okay, I need you to clean my house. I need you to sweep my floor. I need you to do something for me. And I said to myself, well, brother, what about, you really being a man to me? Not just about, yourself. I came to a brother, and I was struggling with something. And I was telling him about the struggle I was going through. He literally cut me off in my struggle. As I was talking to him, cut me straight off just to talk about some of the stuff that he was dealing with. When it comes to his business, or when it came to his houses. And I'm saying to myself, like, wait a minute. What are you trying to say, that this is the only thing that we have in common? The only thing we have in common is about me doing something for you that's going to benefit you? You giving me a few dollars is not benefiting me. I need friends. I need family. I need real men in my life. I need somebody that is not really asking much of me. Just because you show up here and show up here doesn't mean you really look at me as a man. And then if you find out about struggles that I go through, and if it makes you feel uncomfortable, then you really don't want to be around me at all. Really. So that means that you don't have no respect for me as a man. But here I am, I have kids, I am trying to learn how to be a man for them. But I don't have anybody that's shown it to me. I really don't know how to be there as a father to my own children. I don't have no idea how to even approach them as a father. I have no idea. No real men have ever given me that understanding at all. No real men have ever really sat down and told me, this is the way that you should raise your kids. This is the way you're supposed to be there for. No one ever said that to me at all. No one even had the impression that I needed the help. So, I've become a statistic to people as a man that's, somebody's baby daddy rather than somebody's father. And I sit and I say to myself, like, okay, where is the respect of really showing me how to be what I need to be, even for my kids? Because you feel I should know? How would I know? How would I know how to be that man for my own kids when I never had the experience of real men to show me? But that's okay, right? Because I should know better? How? I'm not sure do people understand this concept of real men. Then you go to these men ministries, men helping men and all this different names they got it, and they only talking about superficial things according to the scriptures. What about real struggles you're going through? What about things that you're really dealing with on a daily basis? You married for 27 years and you still looking at women, or you still thinking about them. You know what I'm saying? Or you have issues with sex. You have issue with you never talk about any of those things, even in those meetings. But you're talking about how God is good and great. That's not helping these men, nor me. Because you're supposed to be an example to men like me who's kind of come up in the world. But you're not. You're going to act like you don't have no problems. You're going to act like you don't have no issues. Or you don't want to talk about them in front of people because you're so embarrassed of them. What's the point? Well, if you're embarrassed of your problems, then you need to be honest with people. Look, I have issues. I'm going through some things. And you don't even want to talk to. So you have nobody to talk to about issues that you may be dealing with within yourself. So you got to hold on or retain those issues instead of addressing them. So, you think you're helping, but you're really not helping anyone because you're trying to do it on the hush. You don't want nobody to know what you're dealing with. You don't want to be exposed. Because now you became prominent in the community. You don't want nobody to know that you have problems. Why? Or you don't want to be around certain people that have issues because you don't want to be a part or associated with those people. Why? What's wrong with acknowledging the fact that you are yourself a struggle, just like them? I don't have to hide my struggle. Why I have to hide it? I mean, apparently, eventually those struggles come out some way or another, and other people will find out about your situations. And you'll be sitting there saying to yourself, like, oh man, I wish I was like some people that God hid under the door. But sometimes God don't hide everybody. God exposed certain people when he wants them to really get into a place of pruning. And he allowed things to keep coming out until you get them right. But if you never really talk to anybody about them, how is you helping them? But you a man of God, you're not really a man of God because you can't even be honest with other men. So I'm just saying, we're looking for men. Men at my age need real men. And then men need me. But how can I help men or my men kids or any of them? Or my kids, my girl, anybody, because I don't even know how to do that. And I sit here and I think about that all the time. How can I really be anything to my own kids when I don't even know how? I was abandoned at such a young age. I had no idea what a parent really was. My parents couldn't even take care of me. So here I am now trying to be a parent and I have no idea about parenting. You know what I mean? And they said, well, women learn how to be parents. They know how to do this stuff. Yeah, they know how to do it as a woman. But what about a man? A man is not a woman. A man is a man. He needs to learn how to be a man to his children. How can he, though, when he had no idea? This is Overseer Edward.